Over the last 100 years, there have been a ton of great war and military movies. Welcome to Ghost Tactical. My name is Trey, and today we're going to give you our top 10 favorite military movies. Now, these movies that we're going to be going through are going to be in my lifetime, which is going to be like since the 70s. So if you're looking for the stuff back in the 50s and 60s of the great John Wayne and all those movies, they're not going to be in this, but I'm going to give you my top 10 military war movies of my lifetime. Coming in at number 10 is Generation Kill. Now, Generation Kill is the only thing on the list that is not an actual movie. It was a 7-part miniseries on HBO back in 2008 depicting the original invasion of Iraq in 2003. Now, what makes this such a great miniseries and all of that is it follows the Marine Corps' 1st Recon Battalion. And if you're ever wondering what it's like downrange and how the interaction and get a true sense of what it is like out there, Generation Kill for me is probably the most realistic of the day-to-day goings on of a Marine Corps unit. And I absolutely love this series. So go check out our number 10, Generation Kill. Coming in at number 9 on our list is Act of Valor. Act of Valor is a film that was released back in 2012 that utilized actual Navy SEALs and crewmen. Honestly, when I first saw the movie, I remember seeing it and like, man, the acting is absolutely atrocious, but man, their tactics are spot on. Then I come to realize and find out later on that these are actual active duty Navy SEALs that were doing the acting. So once I figured it out, I went back and watched it again and really enjoyed it for what it was. And it is a pretty good movie, but it has a lot of great action scenes. And if you like the movements of teams and the interaction between SEALs and their families and everything about that, it is a great movie that depicts that kind of lifestyle. So once again, guys, this is a phenomenal tactics and movement and all of that. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, then check out our number 9 on the list, Act of Valor. Coming in at number 8 on the list is Zero Dark 30. Zero Dark 30 is a film that was released in early 2013 that basically dramatizes the decade-long international manhunt for Osama bin Laden after the September 11 attacks. This movie goes into the search that leads to the discovery of his compound in Pakistan and the military raid performed by DevGru where bin Laden was killed in May of 2011. We all remember, obviously, September 11th, but we also remember the next 10 years that we were trying to find bin Laden anywhere and everywhere. And when they finally found him and they had a chance to get him, DevGru went in one of the most famous missions ever. I'm lucky to know one of the SEALs that was on that raid, and just watching this movie is one of those that it brings back those emotions and everything that goes into the whole bin Laden thing. If you've never seen Zero Dark 30 and you remember all the bin Laden and September 11 stuff, go watch our number 8 movie, Zero Dark 30. Coming in at number 7 on the list is American Sniper. American Sniper was released in 2014 and is basically a biographical war drama that was directed by Clint Eastwood, by the way, and it's loosely based on the memoirs and book written by Chris Kyle called American Sniper. For those of you that don't know, if you're watching this, I'm sure you do know, but Chris Kyle is one of the most deadliest marksmen in U.S. history with over 250 kills during the Iraq War in the early 2000s. The movie is not just about him as a sniper. It goes into his life at home with the family, PTSD, all of the things that he goes through mentally that he has to overcome from switching off between being a SEAL sniper and being a human being. And it's a great movie, and it obviously ends with a tragic, unexpected death of Chris Kyle. This film will have you crying. I don't care how tough you are. If you have a heart in your body whatsoever, it's a wonderful movie. It was up for many, many Academy Awards, and it's probably one of the greatest war movies in the last 15, 20 years for sure. Guys, go check out the number 7 on our list, American Sniper. Coming in at number 6 on our list is the movie Jarhead. Now, obviously, being a Marine, the name Jarhead's going to pop out to me, and it's a great film. It came out in 2005, and it stars Jake Gyllenhaal as Anthony Swafford, who wrote a book that this is basically about his time in the Marine Corps and in Operation Desert Shield back in the early 90s. And basically what it does, it takes you from boot camp to scout sniper school, all the way back into the fleet, and the trials and tribulations of what it takes to be a young Marine when you're in a war scenario, when you really weren't sure that was really what was going to happen. The mental side of it, how to cope with it. But it basically goes through as a story about Operation Desert Shield, and it's a really awesome movie. A lot of ups and downs, lots of mental turmoil, and all that stuff. But guys, it's a wonderful movie. Jake Gyllenhaal does a phenomenal job in this movie. So go check out our number 6, Jarhead. Before we reveal our number 1 choice, we invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and click that notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time we have a new video come out. Now back to the countdown. Coming in at number 5 on our list is Lone Survivor. Lone Survivor is a 2013 American film based on a great book by Marcus Luttrell, who is the lone survivor, and it's set during the war in Afghanistan, and it dramatizes the unsuccessful SEAL counterinsurgent mission Operation Red Wings. Operation Red Wings was when they sent a 4-man SEAL team, reconnaissance and surveillance team that was given the task of tracking down Taliban leader Ahmad Shah. What happens then is some of the craziest stuff that's ever happened in military history. Between the firefights, this movie depicts everything that happens graphically. I'm not going to lie. It's going to depict it as true as it can be, obviously leaving out certain things that probably shouldn't be or couldn't be talked about or shown, but this is coming from the memory of Marcus Luttrell, who is the lone survivor. If you've never gotten a chance to listen to Marcus Luttrell give a speech about this, please do. It's one of the most remarkable things you'll ever listen to in your life. The craziness that happens, the desire to live, the desire to respect and remember his brothers that fell during this is truly remarkable. It is an amazing film. One of the best films, regardless if it's military or not, it's come out in a long time. I've watched this, I can't tell you how many times, and it is truly, truly remarkable. Marcus Luttrell is played by Mark Wahlberg. There's Taylor Kitsch in there, and it's directed by Peter Berg, who did a phenomenal job of depicting this as real as possible. So guys, if you haven't got a chance to see it, this goes into the life of a SEAL, this whole operation, and the rescue mission, which is a whole other issue, which is craziness. So guys, please go check out our number 5 on the list, Lone Survivor. Coming in at number 4 on the list is Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket is obviously a very famous movie from 1987 that was written and directed by Stanley Kubrick, and it's got Matthew Modine and obviously the famous, especially in our community, the famous Gunny Arlie Ermey. It basically follows like a platoon of Marines through their boot camp experiences and being just absolutely thrashed and destroyed by their drill instructor, Gunny Hartman, played by Arlie Ermey, changing them from crappy civilians into Marines. And then it goes on and follows Matthew Modine and others in their experiences during the Vietnam War and the Tet Offensive and Da Nang and all of that. Personally, if they would have just made a movie of just the boot camp side of the movie, it would have been one of the greatest movies ever created, in my opinion. Not saying the rest of the movie isn't great, it's awesome. But for me, the depiction of boot camp is as real as there is out there. If you want to know what Marine Corps boot camp is, that is, as far as a film goes, that is as close that's ever been shown in a movie. It's a fantastic movie. It is a classic. And if you haven't seen Full Metal Jacket, then please, please, please treat yourself to watch it soon. So our number 4 pick is Full Metal Jacket. Coming in at number 3 on our list is Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now was a 1979 film that was directed by Francis Ford Coppola. It stars a lot of people like Marlon Brando, Robert Duvall, Martin Sheen, Lawrence Fishburne, Harrison Ford, Dennis Hopper, and so many more. It's set in Vietnam, and it follows a river journey from like South Vietnam into Cambodia, taken by Martin Sheen, who's on a secret mission to assassinate a crazy renegade Army Special Forces colonel played by Marlon Brando, who's accused of murder and is presumed basically insane. Through this journey, Martin Sheen hooks up with like this surfing crazy obsessed cavalry officer played by Robert Duvall, who has one of the greatest lines ever in cinematic history. Says, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning." It's a great movie. It is one of the greatest movies, not just a war movie, but one of the greatest movies of the 20th century. So guys, go check out our number 3, Apocalypse Now. Coming in at number 2 on the list is Saving Private Ryan. Now, Saving Private Ryan is a film that came out in 1998, and it was directed by Steven Spielberg. And it's set in the Omaha Beach invasion of D-Day in Normandy during World War II. And the first half hour of it is the actual Omaha Beach assault. And that 30 minutes right there very well could be the greatest depiction of war ever created in a movie. I can't imagine that it being any more realistic of what that assault was on Omaha Beach, and it's crazy. Basically, the movie follows a ranger captain played by Tom Hanks and his squad with people like Tom Sizemore, Edward Burns, Barry Pepper, Giovanni Ribisi, Vin Diesel, Adam Goldberg, a bunch of people that you would know are in the squad, and they're in search of a paratrooper, Private Ryan, played by Matt Damon. And basically, Private Ryan is the last survivor of 4 brothers. The first 3 brothers were killed in action during the war, and the Army sent this squad to go find Private Ryan to send him home because they didn't want all of the kids to die during war. So this movie, after the assault on Omaha Beach, goes throughout this whole ordeal of trying to find this one person. What happens in a squad when you're sent to sacrifice your life to find someone that you don't even know and to send them home. And it won a ton of awards back in the day. And like I said, the first half hour of this movie is probably the most realistic part of a war movie ever depicted. I even saw people that were on Omaha Beach during D-Day say that was as real as it gets, and it's a great movie. The whole movie's great, but I would watch it just for the first half hour, honestly. It was incredible. So guys, go check out our number 2 on the list, Saving Private Ryan. And coming in at number 1 on the list is Platoon. Platoon is a 1986 film written and directed by Oliver Stone, and it's based on his experiences while serving in the Vietnam War. And it's got people like Tom Berenger, Willem Dafoe, Charlie Sheen, Forrest Whitaker, Johnny Depp, and a lot more that you would recognize. And it basically follows a young soldier in Charlie Sheen serving in Vietnam, while his platoon sergeant, who's played by Tom Berenger, and his squad leader, that's Willem Dafoe, they argue over certain things, whether the locals are holding on to Viet Cong, and the mental side of going crazy in a war, and the morality and the platoon and how they conduct themselves in war. And it's incredibly descriptive on how it shows maybe sometimes the mental breakdowns that war can cause on someone. It's a truly remarkable film. I remember watching this when I was a kid in the theater with my dad. Whether or not I should have been there watching this movie to begin with is up for a discussion in its own. But it was the first time I ever experienced when the movie was over, nobody moved. Nobody said a word. They just sat there and kind of just relished and started thinking about what they just saw. It's a truly incredible film. And in my mind, this is the number 1 military/war film ever created. It is truly an experience. So if you haven't watched it, please go watch our number 1 film, Platoon. Well, now that we know that you've hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, what we're asking you to do now is hit that thumbs up button or the thumbs down button, but let's be serious, we all prefer the thumbs up button. After that, we ask you to go down below and leave any comments or questions you may have for us. We'll get back to you as soon as we can with those. And if you're in the mood for some more great Pro 2A Pro Gun content, make sure you check out all of our other stuff, including our website, ghosttacticalproductions.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Semper Fidelis.